All right, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. We're back again for day three of the Explore program or hashtag Explore EdTech. And I have here with me Israel Adetunji, popularly known as favorite tech bro. All right, Israel, say hi. I don't like introducing my speaker, so I would let him introduce himself in due time. So I see that we're joining already. Thank you so much if you're watching from Nigeria, from Ghana, from South Africa, or any part of Africa, or any part of the world that you are viewing this program from. It's wonderful having you around. All right, so. I would like to go over a couple of things that we've established in the past or in the past couple of days with Dr. Femi Oladele, where he took us through a journey from an educator's perspective, what the African education system is all about, or and where we are currently, and how technology is helping us. Yes, how technology is helping us to solve a lot of problems. Yeah. So, but today we have Israel Adetunji, who is a software engineer, and he's going to be coming from the tech perspective to tell us to yeah, he's going to be coming from the from the tech perspective to tell us the impact of technology on African education system. So um I want us to welcome Israel Adetunde as he introduces himself. Thank you.
Am I supposed to introduce myself now? I sort of like actually have an introduction in my slides that I was just gonna go through when it's time to like start talking.
All right,
Can
all
that
right,
work?
all
Can
right,
we work with
all
that?
right. That we can work with that. All right, so
Okay.
we're going straight into the keynote speech. If you have any questions, please kindly drop it on the comment box. We'll address it at the end of the speech. And if you have any opinions, also do well to drop them. And yeah, tell us where you're watching from. Also, that will be very important so that we can know how best to address everyone. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think the first thing I would love to do is share my screen and then we can just get all started and do well. So I think you said you have to add that to something,
Yeah.
to the live stream, yeah? I'm
Yep. Sure.
actually watching. I'm trying to watch myself on my phone, anyways, to see how I look. To see if I look very well.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to watch myself on my phone to see that everything is working out very well. Awesome, good stuff. Right, so I think we are good.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
hello everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really quite excited to be here. I tried as much as possible. Let me just give you a disclaimer, right? I tried as much as possible to prepare some slides, but I really just wanted to like talk from my heart, like just talk from the whole thing. Is like if you're in Africa or you're in Nigeria, I have folks that are outside of Nigeria, and you know, some countries have their education system all good and fine, and some have it not so very good. Yeah, so and like similar to what we have in Nigeria, right? So, and I think, I just want to talk from my heart, just chat with you, talk about how we can use technology to like do stuffs and, make our education system better and, just do all. So, welcome, 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 welcome. I'll try as much as possible not to talk too fast. Sometimes I talk too fast, sometimes, but I will try as much as possible not to talk very
Yeah.
fast. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good
All
stuff.
right.
So yeah, I'll be talking about like building the next edtech solution. When Ikechukwu told me, he said I should come from a tech perspective, and I sort of like I think I joined one of the sessions where, and I think other speakers that have spoken have probably talked about the bad state of our education system in Nigeria. You know how bad things are, and how sorrowful things are, and how bleak the future of education is in Nigeria. And then I think if you look at the headlines, yeah, you will sort of like see that things are getting worse by the day. You know, people are projecting that is this the end of our education system? Yeah, and I think it's something that let me just add this. This is showing. Yeah, so and I think it's something we really need to willing to be to think about how we can make education better, and how we can do good by the future generation. Yeah. So right. So let's get, that's just in a bit of introduction, pre-introduction. Yeah. So I'll be talking about building the next edtech solution. My name is Israel Adetunji. So what are we going to be talking about? I'm sorry, I'm going to be drinking water, so having to into the draft. So what are we doing today? So you meet me. I will talk a little bit about myself, what I do, and then I will talk about where we are in the education sector, right? I'm not going to talk so much on that because I think the previous speakers have probably talked about the sad things about the education system in our country, yeah, and even in Africa, right? And then I'll be focusing more on the things that we need to take notes in building the next solution, right? And what are the things that we need to know, right? Yeah, and then we take some Q and A's, and yeah, and then we'll be good. Awesome, awesome. Right. So who am I? Meet me. Right. My name is Israel. But like he said when he started, I'm popularly and politically known as favorite tech bro. Just don't mind me. I joke around, but you can call me your favorite tech bro. Yeah. So that's what I run with on social media. I'm trying to hide my identity, so that people don't know me anyways. But my name is Israel. You can call me Israel. You can call me favorite tech bro. I'm a software engineer with over 4 years of experience working with various front-end and back-end technologies, all stories. And currently I work as a software engineer at Refable and a session lead with Udacity, right? And I'll be joining Asala later this year. As a software engineer, you can connect with me on my social media platform, LinkedIn and Twitter, right? So I think I want to start by talking about what I do at Udacity, right? I think if you are very very familiar with with education, taking online courses, let me just put it like that, right? You would probably have heard about Udemy, you've have heard about Udacity, right? So what do I do in Udacity? I mentor, sort of like lead a group of students, right, that currently take uh, the nano degree courses, right? So I'm currently a session lead for the full stack nano degree program, right? So I teach them some concepts. I try to like elaborate some concepts with them. I'm talking about this because this is relating to what I'm going to talk about today, right? So that's basically what I do. And currently I work with African students, right? So most folks that I currently lead are currently based in Africa. Most of them are in Nigeria, but I have folks from Kenya, from South Africa, and a couple of places there. And I just think that I've noticed some issues, right? Which I think is not only unique to Nigeria, because a lot of us have probably not traveled outside of the country. Yeah, you probably might not know that some of the issues that we face in our education system are not limited and restricted to this country alone, right? And some of them are spread across to other parts of Africa. Awesome. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a software engineer, but I also like to teach. I also like to talk at events. Awesome. So a little bit of introduction. Fintech. Oh wow, is that a mistake? Oh, fintech. Am I supposed to have fintech? Yeah, it's not a mistake. Anyways, it's there. Right. I think for most people, if you are very very familiar with the tech space generally, you will get to find out that there are a lot of innovation when it comes to the field of finance, right? Everybody is creating something new. And most investors, most YC investors, right? Most angel investors tend to invest uh, in fintechs, like in fintech, right? So I think it's very essential that I talk about that and how we can bring that into edtech and how we can do better by edtech, right? It seems a lot of innovation is happening in fintech, in finance generally. Like almost everybody here has an online bank. If you are not using Kuda, you are probably using Bata, or you are probably using some other online bank, right? And you don't have to like go to bank to open an account. You can get virtual cards, you can get dollar cards, right? And that's innovation. Like, we are building something in tech, right? And then with the advent of crypto, with the advent of, you know, it's a lot of things that is happening, and there seems to be a lot of attention and innovation and integration of tech in finance, right? And some are speculating that is it getting saturated already? Are we getting saturated in fintech, right? Well, that's not really the whole point of this conversation. But the whole point of is that you look at finance and you see that we've come a long way from what we used to have in our normal banking, in our day-to-day banking, right? Tech seems to have taken over. Even trading of stocks now seems to be online, right? You don't need to start looking for a stockbroker. It's something you can open a stock account on your phone, and you can easily see your stock, trade in stocks, and do all those kind of things. Yeah. So it's just giving you, just think about how in a very short period of time, right? How far tech has helped finance, right? And how it has made finance very very easy for everybody, right? So that's just in a bit of introduction, right? So where are we? I want us to like understand some of the current problems that we have with the education sector, right? So what are the current problems that we have? uh I think if I ask anybody that is probably on this stream what some of the current problems are, right, what some of the current issues are, you know it's so very very, I know a couple of things are going to come to our mind, and I'm just going to talk about two of them, right? More like one of them anyways, right? So what, but before I talk about where we are, the current problems that we have, right? When you talk about education, when you hear schooling, what comes to your mind, right? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I think for probably our parents, or probably for most people, right? If you've not really been exposed to so much, you probably think that when you hear about getting educated, if somebody says you need to go to school, you need to get educated, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is, oh, I need to get past UTME, or go to secondary school, pass UTME, and get an admission to study computer engineering in OAU or something like that, right? But I think if you are going to be sincere with yourself, and if you are going to play things in the whole game of things, like if you are going to look at the broader picture, you get to see that education has gone way way beyond that. I think to a large extent we are still lagging behind in Africa, right? In that there are still some things we are still not getting right. But I think with the advent of like social media, we are seeing how schools, even outside the country, are doing very well, right? Even when it comes to like the traditional school, right? They are adding a layer of tech to how they do their education, right? So even if, let's say, you get an admission to Harvard, there's still a way that they add a layer of tech to it. And when I talk about tech, don't think about maybe using projection. I know we've gone way beyond using chalkboard like you have here, like somebody's using a chalkboard here. We've gone way beyond using a chalkboard, or writing on the board, or using marker. Right now we have smart screens, we have projections, we have different sort of things here. But even beyond that, I think tech has helped, especially in schools abroad, right? Especially outside of Africa, right? Tech has really been integrated to some of the things. I know we still have a long way to go, right? But I think tech has really helped in some ways, right? And it has helped schools abroad. So when you think about schooling, right, you should not just think about the four walls of you go to a school, you use your hardcover notes, you write in class, you write exams, and all those things, right? So where are we lagging behind in Africa, right? What are some of the things that we need to, what are some of the problems that we have in Africa? Problems, yeah. So like I was saying, right, that if I ask any person, like any average Nigeria student, what some of our problems are in Nigeria, especially when it comes to tertiary institution, right? It's when it comes to like secondary institution, like even all institutions, we are going to talk about things like infrastructure, things like infrastructure basically. Like our schools don't even seem to have the correct infrastructure, like starting from primary school, secondary school, right? Even tertiary institutions. Yeah. We don't seem to have the correct infrastructure, right? But I think for most people that join this call, you're probably going to enter a tertiary institution very soon, or you're probably in one. And the current situation that you are in, whether you're in a polytechnic or you're in a university, and I even heard that College of Educations that want to start strike, the current problem that you are currently probably going to be facing is strike, like industrial actions, right? Lecturers or non-lecturers, ASU, wherever you are, like KWESU, like ASUP, that's for polytechnics. Like I'm talking about Nigeria now, are going on strike. And they've been on strike since February. That's like how many months? So that's one major issue that everybody seems to be facing. Like, and it is due to a lot of problems. Governments are not paying, which I'm not going to get to, right? But I think one of the problems that is causing the state of the education system in Africa to really go berserk and really go in a wrong way is strikes. Like most people that are currently at home now probably don't care so much about school again. Why? Because they're already tired, right? Somebody that was supposed to start a semester in February is still stuck in the same part for like 2 years, right? So that's one problem. Okay, another problem, which is not really a problem, but which I really wanted to talk about, is how African universities or African schools could not really deal when the pandemic came. And that really pointed out some problems for us. Like that showed us how bad our current state is, right? The fact that schools in Nigeria, at least I know, had to shut down for almost more than a year for some, but like about a year. That's very sad. And we could not make use of technology. We could not effectively make use of the of internet to like continue our academic activities. Right. I have some folks outside of the country that it was the day they were going to graduate that they graduated, irrespective of what happened during the pandemic. Their classes still continued, right? They continued online, like they still did. Some of them even did graduations online, right? And I think that should sort of like begin to, you know, trigger something in you, right? I'm mentioning this problem because I want to trigger you, because before I talk about some of the solutions that we can think of to solve some of these problems, right? It should trigger you in that for almost a year nothing happened. Because why? Like why? Because we could not uh make the best use of technology, right? And we know technology could have helped, right? Because people from other countries made use of technology and the academic activities ran very, very smoothly. Yeah, so just think about that for a second before I move to the next thing. Like, think about that for a second. Think about what we could have done during the pandemic. What are the things we could have done? Like, just think about it. During the pandemic, we could not do anything, right? We could not really move forward. And then just because how you get to solve problems, right? How you get to solve problems, how you get to think about solutions is by thinking about the problem, right? Is by thinking about the current state of things, and then you now begin to think how you can do better in those things, right? So you just take a minute, right? I like to do this exercise sometimes. Just take a minute and just flashback into during the pandemic, right? The fact that we were stuck home for a year, and I know during that period of time, that was when a lot of courses were available, right? That people could take online courses. But the fact that your academic activity, like your normal schooling, could not continue, right? And most of our academic institutions in this country, right, could not do anything. They were so handicapped and they could not really make use of technology to do anything. Just think about that for a couple of seconds, right? So when you think about that, and then you see how sad that can be, right? And then we can then begin to think of building the next solution. Like, how do we go about building the next solution? So what are the things we really need to consider to building the next solution in in Africa, right? And the first thing that I'm going to say is this, right? We need to build a solution for Africa by Africans, right? Uh, just hold on for a bit. Let me connect to my external monitor. Right, I think that's always better. Ikechuk, I'm not sure if you are there. Is there a way to like pause this for a while? I want to connect to my external monitor.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, okay, sure. Uh, but this is sharing my entire screen anyway. Uh,
All right.
but that's okay. Okay, good stuff. Okay. So I think I can then share this screen back. So, oh, it's still sharing my screen. Yeah. So I think you can. I'm gonna have to share another screen, the other screen, share this guy. Okay, awesome. So I think I'm sharing this other screen now, and I think we are good to continue. Okay, good stuff. Sorry about the break in transmission.
It's
Uh,
no problem.
I think it's just always good to make use of. Oh, okay, good stuff. Right. So, yeah, I think I can now see. I don't need to stream again. I don't need to continue to stream again. So I think I can see both of everything I'm doing. Right. So let's continue. I was saying that one thing we really need to think about now is building a solution for Africa by Africans. And what do I mean by that? Well, like I said, I work with Audacity here, and you've probably heard a lot of foreign companies, right? A lot of ed tech companies, right? You've heard of Udacity, if you've not heard of educative.io, right? Which I'm still going to talk about a little bit later. You've heard of Udemy, Udacity, there's one Coursera, right? So you've heard of all those things. But if you are going to be sincere with ourselves, those uh, are they are solutions built outside of the country, right? There are solutions built outside of the country, and they seem. I think we need to understand that to a large extent, those people don't really understand our problems. If you are going to be sincere with ourselves, they don't understand what we go through. They don't understand some of the problems we have. They don't understand how we don't have electricity, right? They don't understand how we don't, how just look at this now. While doing this session, it just restored power, and I've not had power since morning, right? And then they also don't understand the high cost of which I'm still going to. I'm going to talk about some of those things later. But about the high cost of internet, how much it is to like get internet, how costly it is to get internet, right? So they don't understand some of those, right? And I think the first thing that I need to call your attention to is that we need to build solutions for Africa that are created by Africans. Like we need to think about this does not only apply to edtech here, it also applies to every other aspect. We need to think about building solutions for Africa that are created for Africans because we really understand our problems, right? And only we really understand how we can solve those problems, right? And I think Ikechukwu and his team are working on a platform. They should have deployed it by now, but I think they will deploy before the end of this whole keynote session, right? It's Powerline, right? I
Yeah,
think Ikechukwu
actually,
has probably talked a little bit about it. Yeah, so
yeah.
Powerline, I think they are trying to from the let me do advertisement from the stables of Parakletus. We have Powerline, blah blah blah. Blah. I'm just I think I've seen a couple of folks building stuff, right? And I've actually had this is me selling Powerline for you, anyways. I've checked through the thing that they are building, right? And I think first, I like the interface. That's the first thing.
Wow.
I'm a sucker for good UI, right? I'm a sucker for good UI. So I like this is not to make Ikechukwu happy anyways, but I like the UI anyway. So I like the UI, and that's one thing. That's really one thing that is very awesome in building products. When you are building products, you need to think about like the user interface. But I think it's a good thing, and I think I what they are trying to solve is a very very good thing. Ikechukwu will be the best to talk more about what they are trying to build. But the whole point of all this talk is that we need to build solutions for Africa by Africans, right? Ikechukwu and his team are trying to solve parallel. Let me just start putting parallel in your head. They are trying to solve a part of the problem, right? But we know we have a whole load of problems, right? And probably from my talk, Parallel can pick up something and add another feature to the application, and then you have to pay me for stealing my ideas, anyways. But apart from that, I just think that we need to build more solutions to solve the educational problems that we have in this country, right? We need to think about our problems, right? A white man out there is not going to think about our problems for us because they probably cannot deal. I'm trying to. I've been waiting so long to get my transcript, like to process something, right? And then some of the lawyers I'm trying to talk to outside of the country, and they just cannot deal with that. I finished school December and I've not gotten my transcript. They just cannot deal. Do you get? And just think about it, platforms that immediately a student finishes, they upload the result, it automatically generates the transcript. No need to be going to transcript office or balance. That's a way to think. Like that's one problem that we are facing in education now. And I can bet you to you that almost every school in Nigeria has a transcript problem. Almost every tertiary institution in Nigeria has a transcript problem. Because I've been on a lot of communities where people are complaining about the fact that, oh no, it's taking months, it's taking years for me to get my transcript. I'm like, most of all these universities or most of all these tertiary institutions have portals. Do you get? Like they have academic portals where they upload student results. So obviously all those students are online. Like all those results are online rather. Right. So why do I have to start going to a private office to print out my result? So, like why? You can just automatically generate a transcript. The registrar's signature is already scanned to the system, right? So I'm thinking of a solution to the problem in case you want to pitch it to maybe a school, whether you are still in school, in case you want to pitch that problem to somebody, like that solution to somebody. You have the signatures that are supposed to be on the transcript, all the words in that is majorly the same wording. Like this is to start. I've not seen it, so I don't know what it's like, but this is to certify that this person has completed blah blah blah, and this is their result and all those things. Right? The result is already online. What you need is that text, and what you need is the signature. All those things can be done. I'm a developer, like I can basically do all those. It's just use there are tools, there are Node.js modules that you combine together and solves the problem for you. Like in the back end, like good and fine, like and you are good. Do you get? So outside of the country, they don't understand some of this. They don't understand that we have to wait for months to get our transcript. We have to wait for years to get our transcript, right? And that's like a very, very big problem. So, not to dwell too much on that, let's think about building. We have solutions. I work with Udacity, right? We have solutions already but they are created by foreign companies, right? They are outside of this country and they can't seem to like relate with some of the problems that we have, right? So let's think about creating solutions for Africa by Africans. Awesome. Okay. I've talked so much. So what are some of the things that we need to consider? I started talking a bit about this. So what are some of the things in building your next solution? What are some of the things that you need to think about? Right. So you want to build your next solution. I work majorly with African students, right, in university. And the complaints that I keep getting, because we have connect sessions for 2 hours where you have to come and then I teach you something, right? And the students come and I get messages that I'm very sorry, I won't be unable to join. Or people even try to join, people that are trying to be very, very serious. They try to join and then they tell me maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the class, hello, Israel, I'm very sorry. My phone is currently going low. We can't put on generator now because rain is currently falling. Like, and you'd be like, and I understand because before I joined this session, I was afraid that my system was going to get low. Do you get like so there's power problem in Nigeria. We have the power problem in Nigeria. And when you are building any solution, I've had people in my connect session drop out from the scholarship because it's a scholarship program, right? And then they drop out. Why? Because they are like they can't cope currently because where they are currently staying, there's power outage, right? And they can't really do so much about it. Give me a second. I'm sweating and I need to put on the fan. So just give me a second.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So while he gets back, um, all right, okay, he's back already. Okay,
I'm back. Don't worry. It was just
yeah,
a quick walk. Anyways, I was already
uh,
sweating like a Christmas goat. I was already talking with so
uh,
much passion.
yeah. I love that. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. All right, continue, sir.
Okay. Awesome. So, we have the power problem in Nigeria. Yeah, we have you know, the problem in Nigeria is that we have the power. Well, like wherever, even in Africa, yeah, I know, people, some countries still have it good, when it comes to like power, right? Uh, for example, now I work with some South African students, and they will message me that there's a planned power shedding in their area. Here in Nigeria, they take power anytime. They don't tell you before they take power, right? But in South Africa, they are still even going to message you. They have an app where they monitor that, oh, power is going to go out at this particular time in this particular region, right? So they even have it better than us, right? But I think even the fact that we have to do power shedding means that we are not producing enough power. But we are not talking about producing power currently, right? But what I'm saying is that whatever solution that you are building, yes, you have to think about the power problem. You have to think about the power problem. You have to think about uh, how you can build a solution where people that have little to no electricity can benefit from. Do you get? So you want to build a solution, right? And you think about, okay, how do I build an academic solution? Because I think one of the major problems that we had during COVID, right, was that a lot of folks, yeah, were staying because they were not staying in the academic area again. They did not have electricity, right? They did not have electricity, hence they could not join. And then they also they were not collecting their monthly allowance, and they could not also not get data, right? Which is going to lead me to the next thing. You also want to think about how to build a platform or how to build a solution that consumes or that is data effective. That's the word, right? That is data effective, meaning it does not consume data. And people that have, people do, not everybody is like me that do the amount of data plan that I do, right? People do 1 gig per month. Bro, like 1 gig. 1 gig is not going to get any, like 1 gig, like 1 gigabyte of data per month. And they want to try to just watch one Netflix or two Netflix videos. Your whole data is gone with 1 gig. And it's the way all these companies take your data, right? They just sap it, like they just take it. Do you get? So you want to build a solution that is data effective. And what do you need to think about that? You know that videos take more data. Videos generally take more data. I'm not saying it should not be the platform that has video content, right? But I'm saying if there's a way for you to provide a text version of the video content, right? So I watch, there's this platform. It's not related to education, anyways, but it's for reading content, right? So it's majorly Christian content, yeah. But when they have audio, this thing for whatever audio clip that they have or video clip that they have an exact text transcript of the content of the video or audio, and that makes sense in that I don't need to, number one, I'm even talking about data consumption. I'm not talking about good internet, because people can even have money to buy to get data or to say they want to do night plan, right? But what of good internet? Internet is not good everywhere. Some places, in a lot of places still lack 4G. Don't let me say most places, a lot of places, a good number of places, right, still lack for 4G connection, right? So that's like, I can't I can't deal with a 3G connection. And most people, a good number of people, don't have good connection. So you have to think of providing text content, right? So this is, I'm saying this, maybe Powerline can also pick something, right? Because when you have video content, right, people also that don't have data or that are staying in places where the 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 internet is not very good, we will need to, and you want those people to access, and that's like for most people, because most people that have good internet, and stay in places where there's good internet, probably don't need to use some of the technologies that we are trying to build, or they also need to use it, right? But they probably don't actively use it. We want to, awesome, awesome. So Ikechukwu is just typing in the chat now that the transcript processing feature is part of the phase 3 of Parallel, which is awesome stuff, right? It's Imagine that you finish your final exam, they upload the results in like 1 month, and in 1 week, even immediately they upload your results, and the senate of your school meets on this result and they approves it. You automatically get your transcript. You just print it out, no lily. Like you don't need to stress anybody, right? So that's good stuff. Like that's good stuff. Awesome, awesome. Like I think Paradigm is solving a lot of things. Like so, phase 4 is an online feature, and they are doing very well, right? So you want to provide content that people can access offline, right? People, they can download the content. They go to, let's say they go to a cafe. I don't know if those still exist, anyways, but they go to a cafe, and then cafes used to be the thing then. I'm not that old, but I still met when cafe was still the hot thing. I still used to visit cafe when I left secondary school. So, but then start figuring out when I left secondary school. Anyway, so you need to build solutions like that, right? You need to build solutions that are data effective, right? And where people that stay in rural area where they don't always have internet can also have access. So that means they need to be able to save the content offline. So they go to a place. I had a friend that was serving in a very, very rural area, and to even make a call, she has to go under a tree to make a call, right? But sometimes once in a week, she goes to a place where there's internet. So let's say we build a solution where when she goes to that place where there's internet, she can download the content she's going to need for the whole week, right? And then when she goes back to the place where there's no internet, she can easily read those content. And you also have to understand that you need to have a way to sync whatever the person interacts with when they are offline, when they come online again, right? So that's also something that you really need to think about. Awesome. Time is going. Let's talk about other costs, right? Let me just take order. So let's talk about some of the other costs, right? So what are some of the other costs? People need to get gadgets, right? So think about it here. People need to get, say, not everybody uh has a browsing phone. So you also need to consider, I know there are some things that we might not be able to help, yeah, but I still think that we also need to consider all those other costs, because the fact that whether we like it or not, let's be data, it's good to project a good image of Africa here, and Africa is doing very well. But we have to be sincere with ourselves that a lot of people are living in extreme poverty. Some of us don't even know we are living in poverty, not necessarily extreme poverty, that we are living in poverty, right? Because there's just so many people that are living in extreme poverty, that because there's this comparative state that, oh, at least I'm better than this other person. You don't even know that that's not the way you're supposed to be living, right? So a larger number of people are living in extreme poverty, and people cannot even, you begin to think, do you think people don't want to go to school, right? I think people want to go to school, right? People on the streets that are begging want to go to school, right? People want to, sometimes some people are just so, they just don't get some things, right? Maybe because of where I came from. You just don't get that. People want to also do things. Like people want to also be successful, but they just don't have. If you are born in poverty, there's a high chance that you would also continue that poverty. Yeah. So people, other costs, getting uh if you need to get systems, right? People want to learn how to code, but they don't have a system. How do you want to go about it, right? So you need to also consider all those other costs when building solutions for Africa. think of, for example, like I said, people want to learn coding, but they don't have access, they don't have the finances to get uh, a PC, right? But whether we like it or not, it's a lot of people have smartphones. Why not let us build a robust IDE for smartphones? I know there are a couple of them, right? But why not let us build robust IDEs, right? For those that understand tech, you understand, right? Robust IDEs, or people want to learn designs. Why not let us build robust design things like Figma? I think Figma works on phone, or one of them, maybe Adobe Excel, one of them. I'm not a design person, but I think one of them probably works on phone, right? But oh, what are IDEs? So IDEs are integrated development environment, right? They help people to code, right? So if you want to code, right, code editors, like there are little bit of both code editors, yeah. But if you know code editors, so let's say you are learning how to code, and then you want to write your code, and then you want to run your code and all those things, right? That's what you use an IDE for, to run your code, to do whatever you want to do, right? But basically what I'm trying to say, that tools that people need to learn. So let's say, Powerline wants to upload content where people learn how to code, right? They should also think of having integrated IDs, right? Such that people can access those IDs online, or even maybe build an ID where people can can code on their phones, right? And let's think about that. So, you people code on their phones, people can come to their phones and then they code on their phones, people can do a couple of things, right? So let's think about all those things here. Let's think about how we can save costs. In that, a lot of people want to learn how to code, a lot of people want to learn how to design, a lot of people want to learn project management, but they don't have access to a personal computer, right? But they want to learn how to do all those things. How do we help them? How do we build platforms on based on the things that they already have, right? So people already have smartphones. How do we help them to? How do you build, platforms that can run on mobile, right? Such that people can then build solutions, like people can then learn and be effective in their learning, right? So, think of all those other costs. Next thing, I was going to talk about this, but like I do before I start talking about anything again, I drink water. Awesome. So I know a couple of us have actually heard about this MOOCs, like massive open online classes, online courses. Sorry, basically what they hire is what Udemy is. I'm talking about Udacity because I work with Udacity, but anyways, what Udacity is and what Udemy is and what Coursera is. In that, there are online courses where anybody from any part of the world can register, right? So that's like MOOCs, like massive open online courses. I think we need to build more of those for Nigeria, right? I think we need to build more of those for for Africans, right? Because they are very affordable. Some of them are free, right? And they have a flexible way of learning, right? The reason why I put this in a different section is that in the last thing that I was talking about, in that data consumption and all those things, I mentioned something about that people need to be able to learn at their pace. I didn't say it like that, but people, when say you go to a place where there's no internet and then you come back to a place where there's internet, right? People need to be able to learn on their pace, and that's what MOCs help. They are flexible in that they are self-paced courses, right? People learn right on their own, right? People learn on their own. People can learn at their pace, right? Though obviously you have deadlines. Let's say you have project attached to them, right? But people should be able to learn on their paces. In that, there's not going to be like, oh, we come to class 12 a.m. and then we do this, right? But you can do it in such a way that you upload the content, right? And then whether it's text content or audio content or video content, right? Come to think of it, when you are building your platform, you can have, especially when you want to have self-paced courses like this, you can have 3 layers of content for 3 layers of people, right? So you can have video content, and then you can have the audio version of the content, right? And then you can also have the text version of the content, right? So just think about all those. There's a way, when you think so much about it, there's a way you can bring all those together. So let's think about building more platforms that support flexible way of learning, in that people can come, they get the content and then they learn whatever content that they want to learn. Yeah, so let's think about those. That's just basically about that. Just know about massive open online courses, right? So whatever thing you are trying to teach people, you are trying to teach people anything in tech, you're trying to teach people anything, even if it's like normal courses in school, like let's make it flexible for people. The world is becoming so flexible. Even work is becoming so very flexible, right? People want to work remotely. People want to work at their own time. People should also be able to learn at their own time, right? People should not be, should not have to be constrained to say, oh, everybody should come to class by 10 a.m. If you don't come to class, you are not doing anything, right? So let's think about those. Let's think about producing flexible and affordable ways for people to learn through self-paced courses, MOOCs, massive open online courses. Awesome. I'm running towards the end. Uh, right. So this is where I guess I'm going to talk about some of the techie stuff, right? But it's not really going to be so much techie. I don't want to get so much into the tech part of things, right? But let's think about this. What are some of the ways that we can build solutions? So what are some of the platforms that we can build solutions for Africa? I think because we have more smartphones than we have people, according to statistics. Like we have more smartphones than we have people. We have about, I don't know the current population, but let's say the current population is around 8 billion. World population is around 8 billion, right? We have maybe like times three of those smartphones. Like, so we have more smartphones than, like, in a very, very greater rate than we have people that are using the smartphones here. So a lot of people have smartphones, right? Even in this part of the world, a lot of people use smartphones. So you want to think about building mobile platforms, right? So if you are thinking about building a solution, then you obviously need to learn how to build on some of this, right? So we need mobile applications, right? It can be iOS applications, it can be Android applications, right? Well, think about building mobile applications. The good thing about mobile application is that people don't there's a feel of mobile application in that people go to mobile applications, you open your mobile application, mobile application have this offline feel to them, right? So I don't even have a learning app, right? Well, you have this offline feel to mobile application in that it is on your phone. You can download content, you can make use of your local storage, right? And then people can download content. Okay, say you use YouTube now, right? There's a way you can save content on your YouTube. If you are using the web version of YouTube, and I'm not sure you can save content, right? But if you have the mobile application, you can save content offline, right? And that's why I put mobile platforms first. In that mobile is closer, mobile applications are more closer to users than even web applications. I know the internet is like the web platforms, going through your browser, but it's more stressful to go through your browser to visit a platform, right? So think of building mobile applications, right? Because mobile applications are easily accessible to people, right? They can easily access it, right? And then they can easily save content online because it mixes of your local storage, right? And if you want to go into mobile development, right? It's very, very simple. Like, like I said, there are a lot of content online to like learn mobile application. And I think there's a bootcamp training after this, if I'm correct, Ikechukwu, that is going to teach you some of these things, like mobile platform, like mobile development, web development, and all those things. I think there's a bootcamp after this whole 2 weeks of everything. Yeah. So you want to think about that. You want to think about joining that if you want to learn how to build that. Also building for web platforms here, building for web platforms. So you can build web applications, right, where people anywhere can access it. So immediately you have a browser, whether on your system or on your mobile, right? So you can easily access whatever content that you have, right? And then you can easily access the content. The other part is augmented reality and virtual reality, making use of headsets. I know we still have a long way to go for that in Africa, especially because of the cost of things, right? But I think it's worth looking at, building, you can look at learning VR and AR, right? And I think because it's a developing area, a lot of companies like Microsoft and Google are even willing to like support you if you need virtual reality headset gear, right? To build whatever you want to build, right? So think about building, because the good thing about AR and VR is that then people don't have to go into physical classes again to get the physical like kind of experience, right? So if we have 30 students, we can all use our VR and it will all be, well, I'm in the comfort of my room. It will all be like, we'll all be as if we are in a class, like we're in a we have physical class. And then when it comes to like practical part of things, right? So say you want to learn how to operate on a patient, right? They use AR and VR in medicine now, right? To learn how to operate some not so popular conditions, right? So let's say they want to do some surgical operations, right? And it's not so popular. Before you go and operate on a real human being, use your VR headset. There's a body there, there's all those things there, and very sweet thing, right? So you want to think about that. It's a very I'm so very excited about AR and VR. So you can look into it, right? How to build solutions in AR and VR, even if it's not for edtech, right? A lot of companies are providing free resources to like learn augmented reality and virtual reality, right? So it's very awesome thing that you can look into. Yeah, so look into that AR and VR. When you and what I tell people is this: when when you have a tool, so if you don't have a screwdriver, you don't know that there's a way for you to unscrew a screw, like to remove a screw, right? If you know how to code, right, then you can begin to think of how to use your coding to solve a problem, right? So just learning these tools, like start learning now. You might not even necessarily need have a solution that you want to solve, right? Or have a problem that you want to solve. But when you have the tools, ideas come to your mind, right? When you start building things, you'll be like, oh, I can solve this problem with this. I can solve this problem with this. If I have not thought, if I don't know how to say, I've not been exposed to some of these Node.js modules that I'm talking about, like that's a coding thing. I probably not have been able to think about, oh, how do we simplify the transcript problem? Yeah. So you want to think about, learn some of these things, right? And then you can then begin to think of how to solve these problems. Yeah. Do we get that? I think the next thing is just a little bit of this, right? Uh, so yeah, I said that we can innovate or we can invent, right? So we can build on top of our traditional classes, meaning that we still have our traditional classes, we still make use of our lecturers and all those things. Well, the way we could have used technologies to solve the problem that we had during the pandemic by making use of Google Classroom or whatever platforms that we want to make, right? We can use new ideas on top of our traditional schooling. We can build on top of our traditional schooling, add some more things, make use of our, all our, this is if a government official is listening or an educational person is listening or lecturer is, let's make use of all the dusty computers that are in our computer labs in different tertiary institutions. Like, let's make use of all those, right? We can innovate or we can build new platforms, right? We can invent new things to solve our problems, right? So let's think about innovating, let's think about inventing, let's think about solving our problems in Africa. Yeah. So I think it's really at this point that we get into the Q&A section. I don't know if I've done justice, but I hope I've really done justice to this. I don't know if anybody has any question. Yeah.
Wow. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you actually said a lot of things, really, like and you've actually you just threw light. Yeah, you threw light, beam of light, threw beam of light to what we are
Okay.
building actually. Because so when people ask me, I'm like, I don't want to build a solution like every other person. I don't want to build a
Mm-hmm.
startup like every other person. In fact, recently, um, I tell people I'm trying to build an education ecosystem. Yes, now
Mm-hmm.
basic biology, we should know that a system is made up of several organs. Now,
Yeah.
the ecosystem in its own sense is made up of several other components. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
our project, the Parallel project, is not so. Some people are like, well, it is not just a learning management system. I don't know. No, we're not building just a learning management system.
Yeah.
There are plenty learning management systems. There are plenty school management or school information systems. There are result management systems too. I'm talking about both transcripting, but I'm trying to, what we're trying to bring to the table here is a harmonized product that lets an academic administrator to seamlessly manage his or her um, school at the comfort of their smart devices. So, from admission to taking of classes to monitoring of student activity to result processing to result acquisition, basically running your school online. So that's what the parallel is all about. And uh, we looked at the weight of the project. So that was why we had to separate it into phases. So remember when we were talking, I said that that's phase three, that's phase four. So we divided everything into phases so that we can tackle it one step at a time. Yeah. So that's really a wonderful session. Like really, you threw light on the whole issue we are facing in the country now. Imagine now, we're talking about the strike and all. What's the issue? The issue is just payment, a payment system. Are you telling me that there are no payment systems in Nigeria? Are you telling me that there are no fintech companies in Nigeria? So I think the problem is way deeper than just um, a payment system or lack of funds and all of those things that we see on the news. Actually, I think personally, I think it's way deeper than that. But that's not what we are going to be jumping into now. We'll be going straight into the questions that we have. So the first question is okay. Let me ask this question first before we go into the questions that is related to what has just been taught. Someone asked, "How do you monetize your skill even if you are shy?" Now, you talked about learn. You talked about learning. You said start learning. Solutions will come. Ideas will come.
Yeah.
Just start and keep learning. So, someone is now like, okay, fine, I'm learning, but after learning, I have to monetize. Come on, it's obvious. It's necessary that I monetize. So,
Yeah.
I'm an introvert. How do I get to step out of my comfort zones and monetize my ideas and skills?
Awesome, awesome. I think the answer to that is pretty much straight. How do you monetize your skills if you are shy? Stop being shy, right? I think this whole word is I just had to make it simple anyway as well. I think this whole word it's about marketing. Everybody is trying to market themselves. That's why you go to LinkedIn. Everybody's saying, "I'm excited to say that." Even if they started the startup, they'll be like, "I'm excited to say that I just joined this thing as a software developer." It's all
Mm,
marketing. It's all pasped. We call
true,
it pasped.
true.
Like everybody's just trying to sell themselves. Like so, I think one thing you need to know is that nobody's gonna blow your trumpet for you if you don't blow it. Right? Nobody. There was this thing I had in a conference that there's no silent genius, meaning that
Hmm.
if you're a genius and you're in your room, nobody knows you're a genius if you're not talking out. Do you get? So
Mm,
if you do anything, how do and being shy, internet has or social media has make it so good for you in that though that might also be a problem. I have issues with some issues with social media anyway. Everybody should have issues with social media. But
true, true.
but I think social media has made it so easy for you that you don't need to show your face before you sell yourself, right?
Mm,
Just create a tweet. Like nobody needs to know who you are, like, and you create a tweet, but people can already they don't need to know you physically. You don't need to talk to anybody physically, right? And I think you don't need to be shy to post online, right? So talk about yourself. A couple of years ago, I did not used to post on my WhatsApp status. I did not used to post anything. I was just it was not like I was shy, but I was just like, hello, like nobody, let's everybody just maintain their own lane. Do you get? But now I post every time. Like not everything about my life. And that's also something you need to understand. The fact that you're posting, or the people that post online, well, some people post all their life. Like if they are eating, they'll post that currently eating in the abroad, that kind of thing, right? So I'm not saying you should post everything about your life, right? But like I said, it's marketing. You need to
Yeah.
be able to project an image, right? If you project an image, it's when people hear of your name. So when people hear of Israel, they probably think, oh, favorite tech. I've met some people outside and they're like, favorite tech. I'm like, I don't know you. Where do I know you from? Like, and I'm like, bro, like, I don't know you, like that kind of thing, right? Some
Really?
people don't even know my name again, right? Because I was
Wow.
trying to build a brand of favorite Tego. Like, it's not like I'm selling anything, but I want when people hear favorite Tego, what should they think about? They should think about, oh, this young man that is a developer is good in this, is good in this. That's what they should think about, right? Or when people hear Israel, they should think about, oh, tech. Like this guy is good in tech, right?
Yeah.
You need to build that image for yourself, and building an image takes time. Meaning that you begin to post about the things that you do. So let's say you start learning coding or you start learning design. Begin to post your design and begin to talk about it. Oh, this is it, this is it. Begin to talk about those things, yeah. And by talking about those things, right, you are creating an image in the heart of people. You want it such that when somebody comes to people that know me and people that check my status, if somebody says that, oh, I'm looking for a developer, they will think of me. The only reason why they might not send my contact to the person is maybe they think that, ah, especially if the money for the job is small, that, oh, this job will not do this kind of job because the money is small, right? But apart from that, I'm 100% sure that if somebody hears, oh, I'm looking for a web developer, or I'm looking for somebody to bring, my name will come up, right? At least it will drop in their mind. Like it might not be the first, like first five. Let me be proud. First five is gonna drop in their mind, right? That,
True.
oh, I know
True.
this guy somewhere. Like, and it's the image that I've cultivated. So you need to talk about tech. You need to show yourself to be a what's the English word? Like to show that you are English has
Create a
gone out of my head.
niche.
But yeah, to create a niche, like show yourself that okay, you know this thing that you're doing. So that when people hear that, oh, I need some of the jobs, this, for example, this session lead that I currently do at Udacity, I did not even see the job posting, right?
Wow.
Somebody saw the job posting and sent the link to me and was like, oh, Israel, I think you'll be able to do this. And it's because the person knows that I like to like talk, mentor people, like to like help people, especially good at in tech, that kind of, and the person dropped it for me. I applied and I got the job. Do you get? So, just think about creating an image for yourself. You don't need to start talking to people physically. But even at the end of everything, what I'm going to say is that if you want to get good in life, you are going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You can still continue to be shy, but you are going to learn how to talk to people, how to stop being shy, at least while you want to get to what you want to get. Nobody is good. Everybody has a bit of selfishness in them. So nobody is going to blow your trumpet for you if you don't blow your trumpet by yourself. So I said this was a simple answer, but I talked a lot on that.
Actually, it's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. Well, when you was when you were talking, you made mention of how did you put it? A silent genius. Hello. That reminded me the
Yeah,
story of
yeah,
Nikola Tesla. Yeah,
yeah.
the genius that no one knows. A lot of people don't know who Nikola Tesla is today.
Well,
That's the hard
most
truth.
people probably know him
That
already
man
because of Tesla that
is
Elon Musk
one
is
of the
doing.
brightest minds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, yeah, because of Tesla. But
Yeah,
people don't even. The truth is that people don't know where the name came from. That's the point.
true.
People
That's
don't know
true,
where
though.
the name. That man,
That's true.
he used to be. He I think I can boldly say that he's one of the smartest minds that has walked this earth.
Yeah.
Really, really. So, personally, I am not really the posting type, but one day someone spoke to me and the person was like, "Okay, do you really want to get out? Do you really want to enter into the market?" I was like, "Yeah, why, do I look like a joke to you?" But the person was like, "Then sell yourself." I was like, "What do you mean?" The
Mm-hmm.
person told me that, see, if you are not able to make people perceive you in a certain manner, you would find
Mm-hmm.
it hard convincing people to buy whatever you, even if it's water. The person might be choking, but you
Yeah.
offer the person to buy water, the person will still not buy that water.
Yeah.
Yes, the person will not. So I came up, I found out something recently that people don't really buy the products, they buy the face behind the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they buy. So I think another thing I would add to this person's question is that try to create a perspective or people to perceive you in a certain way, in that way
Yeah.
that to which you want to sell yourself. You don't, and like you said, social media doesn't like has made things easy for us. You don't necessarily need to show your face basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, okay, I'll still make the post, but I'll be making a post of how I connected with 200 plus people in less than 30 days on LinkedIn.
Nice.
Like,
Nice.
I would like when, when you check, if someone that checked my LinkedIn profile in March and check it now, the person will like really be, wow, what happened? The point is, I had to put myself out there because I knew that I needed to reach out to um, people, potential clients, potential sponsors, potential
Mm-hmm.
um, testers and partners. You know, there is no way they can get it now.
Yeah.
Some of the persons, in fact, virtually everyone that is speaking on this program, I connected with them on LinkedIn. That's the
Link. Wow.
truth.
Nice.
That's the truth. So from Monday we'll be
Nice.
having someone from Ghana, someone from South Africa, and then lastly we'll be having the CEO of Ilemo.com. So most of them I found them on LinkedIn. So the point is, let's just put ourselves out there. You never know. Social media has made things easy. All right, that's it.
Actually.
That's easy. That's it for that. So jumping straight into the next question is okay. It says, how do you think tech or technology can help the formal education sector? You know, you talked a little bit about the inability of most federal institutions and state institutions to adopt technology. The question is quite tricky. How do you think technology can help with formal education? Because I think, okay, like just rightly like Dr. Femi said that um, there is a place of interest. Now, fine. How would what should like those that are like people like us now, startups, how can we make them find interest to see that technology is actually going to solve most of the problems the formal education sector is facing?
So I think. Oh, that's nice. I think the thing here is that number one is that we need to use technology in formal education. Meaning, that was what I was talking about when I was talking about innovation, right? We need to build on top of our formal education, right? We need to use technological solutions to build on top of our traditional formal education, right? So people want to come to school, right? But people want to. So, for example, a couple of students, whether I like it or not, and with this ASU strike now, a whole load of students are already learning a skill or the other, and some of them already have jobs, right? So, and they don't want to drop those jobs when they resume back to school. They really don't want to they really don't want to drop the job. So, or whatever they are learning. So, how do we make life easy for them? By making sure that we can lecturers can record their classes. I'm going to be very truthful with you. I liked when we were doing online classes, after COVID, and then we resumed and all this, and then they were using Google Classroom, and then lectures were coming online, and we started using Google Meet to like do classes and all. Personally, I preferred it, right? In that you could just join from the comfort of your room. Like you don't have to. I don't have to take. I can wake up if the class is by 9. I can wake up by 8:55 and still join the class and still listen and still contribute, right? And that's the good thing about flexibility, right? So there are already technologies that are available. So there are computers. There is the internet. There are things like there are tools like Google Classrooms and all those things. Yeah. So let's use some of the tools that we already have to solve some of the problems that we have in tech. So we think, okay, we have the infrastructure problem, meaning that there are not good classes in our tertiary institutions. Like, you are doing classes and rain is falling on your head, right? So hello, why not just let everybody stay in their house when rain is not falling on their head and join classes online, right? So let's think about how we can, use the technologies that we have. So that's the first thing. Let's think about how we can use the technology that we have to solve the problems that we are currently facing. And then the other part of things is that the when it comes to ideas, the sky is the limit, as long as you are ready to like implement whatever idea you have, right? So let's think about also the things that we have. So we have the web platforms. How can we integrate it such that our lecturers, so for example, look at, there was a course I was taking before I resumed like tertiary institution like years ago, yeah, and the course is still currently ongoing. It's Harvard CS50. It's like a computer science degree course that is taken in Harvard, David J. Malan, and they record the videos, right, and they put it online. Although people go to classes to attend those classes, there's a recording of the classes that is put on Coursera, that is put online, and then they put it on Coursera visually. But I think, what if we record all our classes like that and we put them online, and people, because whether we like it or not, after you listen to 2 hours of lectures in your classroom, you most likely not remember a lot of it. Is the way our brain works. You will not remember a lot of things, right? So why not record some of those, and people can refer back to it later and watch the courses later. They can watch why not let us do that, right? So let's use some of the things that we already have, to solve the problems that we have, and that's basically what I'm going to say. So understand the things that you can use technology for, or understand the technologies that are available, right? And then you will see that, okay, you can easily build some new solutions based on to solve some of the problems that we have.
Wow, that's actually wonderful, because this was one of the things that Parallel or Parakletus set out to do. We are looking out to partner with major schools. Like, when I say majors, I mean federal institutions, high institutions, to offer them a platform so that they can offer an extended version of their lectures on our platform, basically. So you don't get to say that you did not attend class, and then because you did not attend class, that's why you were not able to catch up with the teachings or the lectures. You have it on the platform. You go there and you study. Yeah. So that's actually nice. Because of our time, the next question says now it's in three parts. This question is in three parts. What roles do you think the government, one, academic administrators, two, and startups have to play to ensure that these particular solutions are being put in place? Now, it's in three places. The government, because these are the three major stakeholders:
Yeah.
the government, academic administrators, and edtech startups.
So I think, let me just talk about academic administrators. I think first thing is, academic administrator need to be open-minded, right? They need to be open-minded to tech. People are usually scared of tech. I don't know why we are still scared of tech in this part of the world, but just be open-minded. I think that's what I'm going to talk about. Academic administration. Be open-minded to putting your content online, except you are scared that you are teaching rubbish. If you are not teaching rubbish, you should be able to put your content online. You should be able to put like your students' results online. Trust. Do you know what people don't know? What people don't know is that you are giving so much to Facebook, to social media, that it's very, don't let me say stupid, but it's very no-brainer for you to be afraid of putting your results online. You are probably afraid because some of our e-portals are not very, very secured. Just one hacking attempt, the whole thing is down. Yeah. But make use of secured platforms. Yeah. Put your content on, like, trust, at least have a little bit of trust. Like, your whole life is already on the internet anyway. So have a little bit of trust. Put your content online, right? Trust. Just be open-minded. I think that's what I'm going to say to government administrator. For government, the issue is that there's little that can be done without the help of the government, whether we like it or not, right? A lot of things cannot change except a government is willing to change, and I think that's one of the major issues. I'm not going to talk about politics in Nigeria, but that's one of the major issues I think we have in this country. A lot of things are not going to change except we change those things. So if government, let's talk about federal universities now. If governments don't give good infrastructure, there's no way lecturers or let's say lecturers of tertiary institutions want to put their content online, right? So government has a lot of things, a whole, like they have a major role to play in that. There needs to be proper funding. We need to upgrade our infrastructure in our schools. We need to upgrade our infrastructures. Like they need to invest in infrastructures in school, and I think that's one of the things that ASU is fighting for, anyways. That we have good infrastructure in federal institutions. We need to upgrade our infrastructure. And government, it's government that is going to do that, right? Proper trainings for lecturers, for people that are going to be interacting with these things online. We need to train all these academic I wanted to say entities, but let's just say lecturers, how to make use of all these online platforms. Yeah. So let's think about that. And that's really what government, it's the work of the government, anyways. Right. So let's think about those. For startups, let's start up build solutions. At the end, everybody's gonna have to partner with everybody, right? And, everybody's going to have to partner with each other. When startups build a solution and then they want to, for example, you're building Powerline and you want to work with we want to work with academic institutions. You need to be able to buy their trust, and they also need to be able to trust you also, right? So everybody's going to have to work together. Let startups begin to build their solution. So for example, fintechs are building fintech solution, but government is making policies that are making it hard on them, right? And that's where government also come in also. Do you get? So when startups build solution, government should support them. The academic institutions should also be able to accept those solutions and integrate them with whatever platforms that they are. Do you get? So that's just that about that. You're on mute anyways, in case you're talking. You're on mute. Okay. You're on mute now. Oh, now I can hear you. Now you're on mute. Okay.
My network is keeping it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
my
one of the
network
few things you're
is
talking
keeping.
about too.
So we're basically
Ouch.
back in this same
I think your network
issue
is still sort of like disturbing
of
anyways.
collaboration that one party or one sector cannot do it all. The government cannot provide it all. Yeah, academic admission. Exactly. Yeah, collaboration is very important because when the government makes the right policy, um, startups are going to build on these policies, and then partnership, that's when partnership between academic administrators and startups can actually work in the real sense of it. So that's actually wonderful. My network is still skipping.
I think I just put off your video.
Yeah, my network is still skipping a little bit. So with that being said, yeah, actually we're coming to the end of the program. This is it's actually been very wonderful run here. Yeah, it's actually been a very wonderful run here. I hello.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me? Ouch, network issues. I think I'm still live anyways, but I think he has network issues. Ouch. Hmm. Hi. Hopefully he's able to join very soon, and then uh, I'm not sure if this is still live. Anyways, if this is still going live, but if it's going live, I'm just gonna continue to talk, to talk until he joins back again. I think it's one of those things that we are talking about. Like, we have network issues. Okay, I think it's back. It's trying to connect back.
Hi.
I
Hello.
okay. Hello, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry, my network is just messing up. Move to this. I don't know why it's now that my network is messing up, but it's good. It's good. It's good. This
That's
is one
okay.
of the problems we are facing in this country.
Exactly.
Poor network. Poor network. Poor network. So imagine when you are pitching your startup to a particular investor,
Yeah.
and then you are being compound for 30 minutes. You are gone. Wow, that's
Can
very
you hear me?
good.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
So,
me? Can you hear me?
or you are in a hackathon or a competition, and then you are. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's very bad. So I happened to attend one a boot camp, a boot camp organized by Engineer Africa, where edtech startups get to pitch their startups and like you get to win some money, some funds actually. So I was
Yeah.
seeing a lot of can you hear me? I was like, whoa, we're still very like it was really bad. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It was really bad. So we're getting there. We're getting there. You made mention of implementing AR to education. But personally, I think it's still a long way. We're still
Yeah. Sure.
way
Sure.
way
Sure.
behind. Like people are still getting used to whiteboard. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. People are still
Yeah.
getting um, people are still getting used to smart boards. A lot of people don't know what LMSs are. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. When you say LMS, people are just looking at you. They're like, "What are you saying?" So basically, we are still like we have a lot of enlightenment to do, and actually that's the reason why they explore edtech bootcamp that would someday we believe someday will metamorphosize um, to uh, explore EdTech conference, which we believe will
Mm-hmm.
be one of the biggest EdTech conferences in Nigeria and
Hopefully,
Africa at
yeah.
large. Yeah, so where we get to enlighten every stakeholder, we're going to be involving the government, academic administrators, students, um, and startups, EdTech startups. Yeah, because
Network issues. Ah. Oops. Oops. Oops.
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So as I was saying, like this is the beginning of things. This is the beginning of. Thank you, Dele. We can see you. Um. This is the beginning of things. So we actually shooting for that. This becomes a major program in the industry. In the industry, hashtag Explore EdTech, organized by Parakletus. Yeah. So we're starting small and we're getting there. and we're getting there. So thank you to everyone viewing live, and thank you to everyone that will still be viewing this program. The
Yeah.
next session is coming up on Monday, the 1st of June. And yeah, we didn't tell God. This adulting thing, eh? Today is Children's Day.
Oh, oh, chill.
Everything, bro. Today is
I'm
Children's Day. I just remembered.
I'm still a child
Yeah,
anyway, Wednesday,
I'm
so
still
I'm
a
still a child.
child though. Because it's like I'll
I'm
leave
still.
this adulting for you people.
Adulthood is expensive.
Like it's just expensive. So happy Children's Day to everyone. Yeah. Um do well, fathers do well to check like do normal for the children. Yeah. Everything bro, do normal for the children. You are not a children
I'm looking
anymore.
for someone that will do
Um
normal for me too right now.
what? Say no more. Anyway, happy Children's Day everyone. Please do well to follow us on our social media handles at Parakletus _NG, and do well to also follow us on yeah, Parakletus _NG on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Um, yeah, to get updates as regards a lot of developments. We'll be deploying our by the next session on Monday, 1st of June. We should be deploying our website should be going live. Yeah, yeah. You heard that. Our website should be going live by 1st of June, and I want also to check it out and send us reviews, and because we will be using your reviews to fine tune the platform. Yeah. So thank you so much and stay blessed. Peace.